Welcome our viewers here in Nigeria and around the world. I am Boston Mafaye and we welcome you to this special edition of Business Incorporated. It's a very special day in Nigeria today, holding this first Monetary Policy Committee meeting for the first time in 2018, and we'll get to that within the hour and up till 3 local time. But let's get today's trading day. What's the big story around the world today as far as the market is concerned? Stocks are still tumbling. No thanks to the tit-for-tat trade war between the U.S. and China. Today, China announced about 106 products that will be seriously taxed by the Chinese authorities against the United States, from aeroplanes to soaps to whatever, agriculture products. It's a big story out there. $50 billion is what we're looking at, and the markets are tanking in major markets around the world on the news of that. It looks like a total negative day so far. Let's get you started from the African continent, where the Nigerian stock market is about 0.75% in the red. The NSE All-Share Index today falling below the 41,000, where we started off yesterday after the long Easter holiday. The market down intraday about 0.75%. South African market is much more deeper, almost 3% intraday today, 2.97%. If you look at the Egyptian market, only one gain in the market that we're seeing across to the north of the continent, 0.66%. Overnight, the Kenyan Stock Exchange trying to sidestep the Easter holiday and the trade wars, getting about 0.36%. That's the Tuesday closing numbers there for Kenyan, for the Nairobi Securities Exchange. But if you go to the Middle East, you find that the markets there are also trending alongside the rest of Asia, and early morning hours before the opening bell on Wall Street. The Abu Dhabi market up by 0.5%, but the Dubai market, which is one of the most watched financial markets in the Middle East, in the GCC, down 0.3%. The Qatar market down about 0.2%, and the Saudi market, of course, gaining 0.78% at 78.60 intraday this Wednesday. But of course, the US is where the big story really is as we speak. The Dow Industrials is still flip-flopping, but still in the negative territory. About an hour ago, that's about 2.09%. That is still tapering a little bit to about 1.97%. But ahead of the open on Wall Street, is still in the red. Markets are still fearful about what the US-China trade war looking like. So the Dow is 33,480, about an hour ago, Nigerian time. The S&P 500 also negative by more than 1%. And NASDAQ is about 1.95%, about 2%. If you look across Europe, the story is the same. In Frankfurt, the German DAX is down 1.49%. The CAC 40, that's the top 40 stocks on the French market, negative by 0.94%. The broader stocks Europe 600 index, negative 1.09%. What's driving the market? Everyone is scared about the trade war between China and the United States. That's a quick snapshot of where the global stocks are waking up to this, the second trading day of the week, Wednesday, the 4th of April. But we've got a lot to talk about here in the Nigerian market space, and what the announcement we expect today at 2:15 local time. In about an hour from now, the governor of the central bank, Godwin Emefiele, will make his first announcement. But of course, today's meeting is very important. It's the first in the new year, and it's also the meeting in which we're seeing 5 new members joining the rest of the committee. 7 of them held the last meeting late last year. Now we have 5 new members, and now we're going to talk more about these 5 members. So let's unveil these 5 individuals for you and give you a little bit of a snapshot of who they were after they've gotten their clearance from the Senate just a couple of weeks ago. Let's start with Aisha Ahmad, who is now a deputy governor at the Central Bank of Nigeria. How much of her do we know? She's a banker. She's got banking experience from Diamond Bank to NAL Merchant Bank, or NAL PLC, it was later known, to Zenith Bank and Stanbic IBTC. Aisha is a member of the Chartered Financial Analyst, what they call the CFA. She's also a member as a Chartered Alternative Investment Analyst. She's a member of the Women in Business in Nigeria. That's the largest body of Nigerian women professionals and business women in Nigeria. So she's a member of, is a part of the Executive Council of Women in Business in Nigeria, we call it by WIMBIS. And she's focused some of her works on professional women in business and how women will be the best investment anyone can put money on. And she's bringing her resume on board for this meeting, of which is hosted yesterday, and the announcement we expect within the hour. Then the second gentleman who's also sitting in, of course, who's been sitting in, as it were, as an observer at the MPC is Edward Adamu, a deputy governor at the Central Bank. He was a director of human resources at the Central Bank of Nigeria. He's also a director in charge of strategy management at the Central Bank and a member of the Monetary Policy Implementation Committee. Also, he sits on the Financial Regulatory Services Committee, which is called the FSRCC, which is a body where you find the Central Bank, the Insurance Commission, the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Stock Exchange, and others sit together. Those who are regulators sit in PENCOM and all that regulating the market. The Central Bank, of course, is the chair of that. And then, of course, he's been an observer of various MPCs. So he's someone who knows the inside of the MPC over the years. But now the three new members of the MPC who are coming in from the outside, and we're looking at today to unveil and formally see them on television, is Professor Adeola Anikinju. Anikinju is a professor of economics at the University of Ibadan, a senior research fellow in of macroeconomic study group at the University of Ibadan. He also has a research interest in petroleum and energy economics and has consulted for the European Union, the United Nations, the Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas, UNIDO, which is the United Nations International Development Organization, as well as ECOWAS, the World Bank, and the OECD. Let's bring on Dr. Robert Asogwa, who is also a new member, cleared, and is coming through. Okay, that's Adeola has done, did a paper, which was reported last year, where he says Nigerian banks at risk of bankruptcy on energy sector loans. We'll get to this later on the program. Then let's look at Dr. Robert Asogwa, who is a professor of economics at the University of Nigeria in Nsukka. He's also a macroeconomist, a team leader on Inclusive Growth Unit at the UNDP, that's United Nations Development Program, and has done a number of research works, and one of it is Nigeria's debt profile and market structure in Nigerian banking. And finally is Dr. Aliyu Rafindadi Sanusi.